Thanks for the support as a channel member, Charlie Pears. Well, after 3 years of trying, we've finally made it into the National League. If you haven't watched yesterday's episode, I've just spoiled it for you. We finally won the playoffs. We are a National League team now. Not only that, we've had our wage budget doubled and we have £100,000 to spend on transfers. This is going to be the biggest transfer special of the save so far. Hello and welcome to part 29 of Bourne Again. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have our season review and transfer special of our promotion season. We're now a National League team. And we've also just set a new club record for least amount of goals scored in a season. So where do you think we need to strengthen this summer, boys and girls? I mean, it's not bad we saw it promoted, but we did it defensively, which, to be fair, it's exactly what Sir Mick Powell was after. He wanted us to play defensively solid football and counter-attack and high-tempo pressing football. We did all that and we got promoted. Sir Mick Powell was right. And he's looking for us to just basically become established as a mid-table National League side. Oh, Mick. Oh, Mick. That will never do. We're pushing for an immediate promotion. Like back in the old days. Remember when we used to do back-to-back promotions with this club? I want to do that again. That would be delicious. But first, we need to do the traditional season review. And as you can see, Kyle Bartley has made it into the all-time best 11. So we'll just catch up with everybody on here and celebrate the fact that Bartley's in, although he's not in the first team. You can see he's there on the bench. So Griffin, I don't remember being in previously, but Griffin is now in as the goalkeeper. How long has he been here now? Just the 2 years. But he is our best goalkeeper ever. Matter still in the side now at left back, despite the fact he only ever really played for us as a striker. But he's banging the goals in again for Stockbridge down in the Northern Counties East Premier League. Wyatt at centre-back, still playing for St Albans. I mean, he's a man we could potentially have another little look at now we're at this level. In fact, let's re-scout George Wyatt, see if we can bring him home. Charlie Wiggett is up with Carlisle in League One. Realistically, he ain't coming back yet, is he? Unless he's out of contract. He's not. He's got another couple of years. He's a proper solid League One player now. James Clark at Bartley. We're actually playing a division above you now, James. So again, let's get you scouted. It'd be lovely to bring some of the legends home. Now we're at the highest level in our history. Mariah Welsh in there as our central midfielder. I think he's been with us 3 years now. Oh, only 2 years. It feels like so much longer. And of course, partnered in midfield by Matthew Smith, who is wanted by Bristol Rovers. So, again, the chances of us getting him back are fairly remote. But Doncaster did get relegated, so he is now a League Two player and a pretty poor League Two side, in fact. Let's give him a little scout because you never know. You never know. We might be able to bring him back. It would be lovely if we could. Garcia on the left wing is at Wickham. I don't remember him. He must have left us and gone to Wickham. I don't remember that, but Wickham are a National League side. So once again, Rafael Garcia is a player who could potentially come home. Morris on the right wing, he's not good enough to play for us. He spent years at Romford, and I'm surprised he still exists in the database. He's wanted by Dorking. Little bit below our level now. Hector Ingram, we know, retired because he didn't want to come back. And Connor Carty is a free agent, but refused to come in on trial earlier on in the season. He might do now we're in the conference, so we'll bring Connor Carty back in on trial, but I suspect he's going to be another one who ends up retiring just like Hector Ingram because he won't come back, which is just silly. We've just looked at where the best 11 are now. End of season awards. Luke Plange in a landslide wins player of the year, 58% of the vote. He can't play up front on his own, though. I think that's what we've learned this year. He is a strike partner for hopefully a free scoring striker that we're going to bring in to go alongside him. Steve Morrison, 19% of the vote, finishing in second place. He's definitely one that is going to become very, very good for us. We want to keep hold of him. Yeovil are after him, but we don't want to let him go. And Buchanan finishing third, who's just been a forgotten man towards the end of the season. When we changed the system, it obviously just moved him out of it completely. So he probably feels a little bit hard done by to not even be on the bench for the promotion push at the end of the season. Ford won goal of the year for this goal against Torquay. Let's have a little look at it. Still, Wasati was still here then. We'll check in on Sati in a minute. I forgot we sold him for big money. But there is Sati. Tried to get the crossover. Didn't quite make it. Buchanan plays it to Mariah Welsh, who feeds forward, who takes one touch and then sticks it in the top corner. I think that is a worthy goal of the season. Morrison gets signing of the season as a free transfer from Liverpool. We haven't got any of these Premier League freebies lined up yet this summer, and the last couple of years we've had them already arranged by this time, but because we were over our wage budget we haven't been able to do any of that yet, so we're going to get stuck into some transfers soon. And Luke Plange still able to qualify for Young Player of the Year, age 23. Bearing in mind he left us, was away for 3 years, has been back 2 years, and is still Young Player of the Year. That tells you, I mean, we say he doesn't score a lot of goals. He's averaging a goal every other game in his career, averaging a 7.34 in his career, and he still qualifies for Young Player of the Year. Luke Plange is awesome. We just need to play him in a system that gets the best out of him, like we did for those final 4 games. This is the team of the year. These 11 will never play together again in this way. Griffin in goal, a back four of Garrett, Bartley, Morrison and White, Buchanan at the base of the midfield, Goodman and Mariah Welsh ahead of him, Ford, Williams and Plange as our front three. Plange got top score of 23 goals, a 7.14 rating to be best average rating. Mariah Welsh, most assists on 11. Aaron Henry, best pass completion. I don't even remember who Aaron Henry is. He played 9 games and will be leaving, no doubt, but he's good at pass completing, apparently. Plange, obviously, most man of the match. Kyle Bartley, 19 yellow cards. And Mike Ford completes the Naughty Boys Club with 2 red cards. Obviously, it was a good season. We were expected to get promoted. We did get promoted. We had the fantastic cup run through to the 4th round of the FA Cup where we lost to Brentford, bringing in all that delicious money. And hopefully we now use that as a reputation boost and use the money and the new reputation to build a really, really good National League side this summer. That is the plan. Club vision-wise, Sir Mick is still looking for defensively solid, counter-attacking, high-tempo football. He ain't going to get it. I mean, I don't want another season of us being a boring team. We need to stay within the wage budget and establish ourselves as a mid-table team. I can accept all of that, Simic. That's all fine. Dynamics-wise, we do now have 2 team leaders. Plange and Bartley have emerged as the team leaders. I think we'd all agree they are the 2. And I think it's been a big difference maker having 2 players to act as team leaders. Now, Kyle Bartley, I'm a little bit worried about. How do we click on Kyle Bartley? Kyle Bartley, because he's old. He turns 35 in a week's time. Is he going to be able to make the step up? Or are we reaching the end of the road for Kyle Bartley? I don't want to see him go, but I think if we do lose him, we probably need 1 or 2 old heads like that throughout the team. With Plange as one of our team leaders being Young Player of the Year, it shows just how young the entire team is. I think we probably need someone with a little bit of experience at the back if we lose Bartley, and probably someone in midfield who's got a little bit of experience, ideally of the Football League as well. End of season team meeting. I don't really know what we're planning to do next year. I guess Sir Mick has said mid-table, so let's tell the players mid-table and see what they've got to say. Let's have a look. It's been... There's a lot of options here. Where's the one that says mid-table? It's been a great season. No, we're not going to get to the playoffs. We're not going to go up either. Where is mid-table here? Well done on getting the club promoted. We're not going to finish in the top half. Congratulations on getting promoted. It's all top half stuff. Not playoffs, not playoffs. Stay up. We'll definitely stay up. I mean, there, mid-table's right at the top. Before we go, blah, blah, done brilliantly, so I'm going to give you a chance to get... Well, no, we're going to bring more players in. It's a great achievement. We have to focus on our position next season. With the right additions to the squad, we can finish mid-table. There you go. That was the right one. We found it in the end. Everybody's happy. They've gone away on their summer holidays. Absolute maximum morale. And while they're gone, I'm sneaking players in through the back door to have a little look at them. To see if we want to be who we want to be bringing in as potential replacements. We didn't get Player of the Year. We didn't get Top Scorer. I am up for Manager of the Year, though, and I'd very much like it. So let's make sure we vote. Look, I've got the best win ratio. A better win ratio than the South Shields guy, presumably because we played those 2 extra games in the playoffs and won them. So I should get Manager of the Year. We'll vote for the guy who's got the lowest win ratio. In that we're effectively spoiling a ballot. And hopefully I'll pick up a manager of the year. Just to confirm the money situation, the balance is looking very solid. We've got more money than we've ever had in the club's history. We don't worry too much about the projection, but it is positive for the next 3 years. Obviously, that's before we've spent money this summer. We have got 100 grand to spend. We are going to be able to keep the majority of money from anyone that we sell. We've got double the amount of transfer budget that we're currently committed to spend. So we can potentially have a super fun summer. Let's just check in on Sati to see if he ever got to play for Sheffield Wednesday. Of course he didn't. Let's give him a little bit of a scout, see if we can bring him back in on loan as well. You never know. And I think my job now, until we get to the 1st of July, is scouting, bringing in anyone on trial who is worth bringing in, and biding my time, waiting for the 1st of July when we can bring in our Premier League youngsters. That's the plan. What's all this then? Stadium expansion. We're spending an enormous amount of money on expanding a stadium. Presumably, it is to comply with league requirements, because we never come close to filling it. We've got hardly any fans, but we're raising build new seats and standing areas at the ground to raise the total capacity by 1,300. It's going to cost us £700,000. We have to do it because of the promotion. We've got a grant for 350,000, and presumably the other 350,000 is coming out of pocket. I don't think we'd have taken a loan because we had the money in the bank, but it doesn't look like we've spent it, which is weird. How is this being paid for? It's going to take 7 months to be completed. The ground's capacity is temporarily reduced, so it'll give us a new capacity of 4,300, and we'll be ready by New Year's Eve. We can have a New Year's Eve party and invite 4,300 people. Lovely, lovely stuff. It's not the 1st of July. Don't panic. Couple of pieces of news, though. Firstly, Kyle Bartley retiring. I've decided not to ask him to reconsider it. I think he probably would be a handy player to have around, but we pay him a lot of money. I would like to think we'll be upgrading beyond him, and I don't want to ask him to reconsider to sit on the bench and sit in the reserves for the year and play for the under-23s. He's just been part of the team that's got promoted through the playoffs. That should be his final match. So he's retiring. We've replaced him with another old man. I said I wanted not a direct position replacement, but new old man for the team. Marlon Pack. I have signed him in YouTube saves before, I think. But he's going to be playing central midfield for us as part of our new look 4-4-2, our revolutionary system. Leading player for most National League sides. Yes, he's 35, but he's got 4-star current ability. He was playing in the Championship 2 years ago regularly. Played a little bit in League One last year. Loads of experience. Nearly 600 league appearances, largely in League One in the Championship. He is going to be our experienced old head. The new Kyle Bartley is Marlon Pack. It's July the 1st. We haven't signed anybody yet, but we have let a lot of people go. Notable names that are leaving: Zach Brown, Mariah Welsh is going, Buchanan, Adebisi, Gibson, Goodman, all leaving. As I've decided, they're probably not National League players. I'm being brutal and ruthless. We've got other contracts that we probably need to look at renewing for a few people, and we'll have a look at that in a second. But I wanted to show you the squad before I started to bring people in. So it's smaller than it has been, but as you can see, we do have lots of money to spend to fix that problem. But if we go to the team report squad depth thing that we always have a little look at, this is what we've got left. So we still just have 2 strikers, Plange and Randall. I'm looking to bring in a couple more, definitely. On the left wing, we've only really got Mike Ford, and he's probably not good enough. Especially on the left-hand side of midfield, he's more of a winger. He'll be fine as backup for this season, but we need to sign someone in over the top of him to play on that left-hand side of midfield. Pack comes in as our new best central midfield player. Mundell is there as an adequate backup. We've still got Henry, Lancaster, de Havilland, all knocking around as youngsters / backups. I'm not sure how many of these I'm going to end up using. As you can see, they've got largely non-contracts, so I can release them if I decide I don't want them. De Havilland has got a contract because I think it's useful to have him around as a specialist defensive midfielder if we decide we need to use that. So he's got himself a 1-year deal. On the right, we've got Williams and Lund. But again, Lund is just in on a non-contract. If someone steals him away from us, then so be it. But I didn't want to commit to contracts for players that I wasn't sure of. when I'm hopefully going to bring in much better options. We're very weak at the back now. Morrison and Randall, the only two centre-backs we've got left. Garrett and Agintas at left-back. White at right-back. But we need defenders in all positions. And likewise in goal. Quigley and Griffin are both fine. But I'm really looking for 4-star quality players. I want more Planges and Packs and Mundles. That's the kind of quality that we're looking for. And we're going to go hunting now and hopefully bring in a whole load of trialists. The other big piece of news is we've lost our assistant manager. He's gone to Newcastle, not as assistant manager. He's gone there to manage their under-18 team. But Terry Mead, who'd been with us a couple of years, I think. 1 year, in fact. 2 years. Yeah, Terry Mead had been with us 2 years. He's now moved on. So we brought in Tom Jones. I don't know if it's the Tom Jones because there's no picture of him. Could be the Tom Jones. I mean, he's English, so it probably isn't. But he's old, so it could be. Let's go bring in some trialists. So, first batch of signings are in. Signing number 1, Gary Mitchell, left midfielder, 18 years old, 2.5-star. Current ability, 5-star potential ability. He comes in from Liverpool. Spot the theme. There's going to be a lot of that. If we can get to the next one, it's Brian Spencer, also 18 years old. He's a central midfielder, 3-star current ability, 4-star potential ability, can also play as an attacking midfielder, so it keeps our options open a little bit as well. He comes in from Arsenal. John Crawford is a striker, 20 years old, 2.5-star current ability, 3.5-star potential ability. He comes in from Sheffield Wednesday. Matthew Foster is a right midfielder who is 22 years old, an old man, 2-star current ability, 3-star potential ability, coming in really as backup to Williams. He comes in from Blackburn. Ben Greenwood is a left back, 24 years old, former Irish under-19 international, 3-star current ability, will compete with Garrett for that left back spot. He comes in from Bourne Wood, where he's played the last 4 years regularly for Bourne Wood. So someone with a little bit of experience coming in there, even though he's still young. Someone else with a little bit of experience. I mean, the names I've had in Football Manager this year. Charlie Seaman, 26 years old, 3-star current ability, will compete with White for the right back spot. And as you can see, been playing at this level or slightly above or slightly below all his career, over 100 games. Again, a little bit of experience. Doesn't do any harm at all. Joseph Anang is a 26-year-old Ghanaian goalkeeper, 3.5-star current ability, so much better than Quigley or Griffin. He's been at West Ham all his career, but at 26, I'm not panicking that he's never played a game of football because he's a goalkeeper. It'll be fine. And then John Morley is an 18-year-old striker, 2.5-star current ability, 4-star potential ability. He comes in from Crystal Palace. So our squad depth as it stands at the moment, we've still loads of money, by the way. We've still got our entire £100,000 worth of transfer budget. We've still got a third of our wage budget, about £5,000 a week to play with. So there's still plenty more business that could be done. You can see that we are slowly but surely starting to fill out the squad. I quite fancy having another goalkeeper, so that guy might be coming in as well, and then we'll just bin off the ones that we had previously. Fullback is fine. We desperately need centre-backs. We've still only got Morrison and Randall there, and Randall's under offer, so we could end up with just one centre-back before too long. Central midfield, I think we're probably good. Right midfield, again, probably good. Left midfield, we could still use someone over there. And I still don't think we've found our 30-goal-a-season striker, so the search for him continues. Next batch of transfers is complete. First thing is Scott Randall has left. He's gone to play for Port Vale in League Two. He's one of those who I put on a non-contract because I was convinced I was going to get better than him. And I think I have, because we've got the return of one of our former heroes, Sean Dootson. I mean, to be fair, he wasn't really a former hero. He didn't really play for us. We got him very young when he first left Liverpool. He went to Falkirk on a free transfer. Barnsley then spent money to bring him there. But he's been doing a bit of a Mick Powell whilst travelling around the UK. And he's now comfortably our best centre-back. He's a decent National League defender. It's going to be a good League One defender one day. 3.5-star current ability, 5-star potential. He's on loan until the end of the season, coming back to the team that gave him his debut in football. So I think that's an adequate swap for Randall. We've also brought in Anthony Patterson, who's the other goalkeeper I was looking at. I think he now becomes our highest paid player on £1,300 a week, but he's a decent goalkeeper. He might not be our first choice. I'm not sure about him or Anang, but we've got some very good goalkeepers knocking around the place now, which is good. And Patterson, as you saw there, lots of Football League experience, played a full season in League Two for Wrexham a couple of years ago. Lots of experience at this level as well. Lovely to see Northampton in the National League, by the way. Are they still here now? No, that's a terrible shame. But he's got plenty of Football League experience, Anthony Patterson. Joe Ford is another centre-back, 22 years old. Not as good as my scouts led me to believe he was going to be. It's a bit of a theme of all our defenders, but then I remind myself, Steve Morrison's only a 2.5-star player according to this. So by bringing in good players, we've upgraded our star rating threshold again. So if you'd have offered me 3 more defenders as good as Steve Morrison at the start of the window, I'd have taken that. And that's what we've got. Ford, Ball and Dootson, even better than that. So I can get on board with that. Ball is the other one we've just brought in, who's 19, and he's got potential to improve. He comes in from Huddersfield. And we've also signed Matthew Bond, who is another striker, 3-star current ability, 3.5-star potential ability, coming in from Bristol City. And Freddie Cornell, it looks like he's going to be a bit of a star, 20-year-old central midfielder, 3.5-star current ability. No potential ability to improve, apparently, but he's as good as Pack and Mundell, and that, to me, makes him a very good central midfield player. Comes in from Charlton. Team report-wise, we are close to done, I think, if we have a look through this. I still think we need another striker. I'm keeping my eyes out for another striker. Left midfield, we definitely still need a left winger, and we keep missing out on the ones that we identify. We could probably still use a backup right winger as well, but central midfield, we are definitely done now. Centre back, we could maybe do with one more. Although we've obviously got one who's down in the under-23s Ball. But if we could bring in like a 4-star centre-back, that would be lovely stuff. Both full-back positions, I think we're fine. In goal, we're fine. So targets now, centre-back, couple of wingers and a real top-quality striker. And to do that, we've got about $4,000 a week to play with. Plus, we still have actual transfer budget. So that's the wrong button. This is the one that I'm looking at. So we'll keep plugging away, trying to bring in players to fit those positions. If we just clear this off and have a look for a striker who we don't mind paying for. See, there's no one who's that good. That's the problem. We could bring Garcia back. We will continue searching. There's definite ups and downs to this next batch. Firstly, Agintus and Henry have both left as more of the non-contract brigade leave, which is just as well because we are slowly but surely creeping up towards our maximum wage budget. So we're probably going to need to get rid of a bunch of them fairly soon anyway. And we have brought a couple of new players in. One panic signing because we needed a left-sided midfielder. He's not very good. Brad Vince-Cole. Watch him go on and be the star of the season now, but we're paying him a lot of money. We've had to tell him he's a star player. He's played 2 games for Wigan in his life, and he's 22 years old. He might end up being brilliant. That suggests he probably won't, but we needed a left midfield player. And then we've got one who hopefully is going to be an absolute superstar in the shape of Jacob Quinn, who is an 18-year-old striker. He can play as an attacking pressing forward, which, you know, I love an attacking pressing forward. He's 6'2". He's quick. He's in double figures for finishing. He's a 4-star current ability, 5-star potential ability, 18-year-old striker on loan for the season from Sheffield Wednesday. We couldn't get Sati on loan from them, but they have let us have this guy. And I think we've probably done all right. Sheffield Wednesday, officially, our new parent club. They're not our parent club. We all know Kev doesn't do affiliate clubs. But that, I think, is a top quality signing. And the squad is closer and closer to taking shape as we've now got a front 2 of Quinn and Plange. We've got... Hold on, why is that 4-2-4? That's one of the other tactics I'm training. There you go. This is the one we want to be looking at. So Quinn and Plange as our strikers. We've got Vince-Cole or Ford as options on the left wing. Williams and I guess Lund as options on the right wing. Could still do with another right winger. Plenty of central midfield options. Dootson and Morrison, I guess, with Ford as a backup, as centre-back. Some decent wing full-back options. And decent options in goal. I could be happy with this squad as it is. I'm not desperately searching for players anymore, but what I am doing is continuing to keep a very close eye on what's coming in on the scout reports, particularly in the shape of loans. There's no other really good loans that have materialised, but if any really good loans appear, or anyone who's going to massively improve certain areas of the pitch, that's obviously what we want as well. But to be able to bring in a key player is always a good sign. What I haven't done yet is had a look to see where the media are expecting us to finish this year. We know Sir Mick Powell is looking for a mid-table finish. The media think third. Of course they do. Why? It would have been... I wish I'd have remembered to do that at the start of the window before I started to sign loads of good players. We've got nobody in the media Dream 11. Is that... Oh, I'm sad. I want him back. Can we get him back? Well, he continued to get better and better. Clearly, did that just say he's a fullback? Fullback, apparently. Marcus Hull. That flying winger that we all remember, who's a competent left-back, is apparently now described as a fullback. But yeah, I'd take Marcus Hull back in a heartbeat. No one else I recognise on there, I don't think. But yeah, apparently we're favourites to at least be in the playoff mix, which seems a little bit ambitious. If you ask me, South Shields 13th seems that seems a lot more like where we're going to end up, I would imagine. Here we go, folks. For those of you looking to order a Bourne shirt, you've got less than a week left to do that. Here's your squad numbers. If you're looking for a Luke Plange shirt, he's our number 16. I know I should have given him 9 or 10, but Quinn's preferred number was 9. Randall's preferred number was 10. Plange didn't have a preferred number, so I wasn't going to argue too much. And it upsets me that we've got our centre-backs at 4 and 5 and our defensive midfielder at 6. Obviously, central midfielder, defensive midfielder is 4. Defenders are 5 and 6, but Ford... his preferred number was 4, so he gets 4. Number 4, Ford. It's very sad. But other than that, the numbers are sensible. The one number we haven't allocated is the number 11, because we haven't yet signed our left winger. I'm trying. I've got 100 grand to spend. We have our backup right winger sorted. Ryan Brennan's on loan from Notts County for the season. He's no better than anyone that we've currently got. He's got potential, and he was free, so... Board aren't very happy, but what are you going to do? My inquiry for this fella was dismissed. I've now asked Guillem Baligay to do it, and it was also dismissed. I don't think we're getting Marcus Hull back. As wonderful a siding as that would be, I mean, it's silly money that we're talking about offering. Let's try the never never. Sir Mick Powell, look away. This is hideous. Ah! Okay, I don't think we're going to spend £750,000 on him. So the hunt for a left winger continues. And we've run out of time without being able to sign a winger. We still have money. We've still got our entire spensies, plus some wage budget left as well. And obviously, if we wanted to, we could find someone for free and free up even more wage budget. But we haven't got it ready for the first game of the season. So that will be tomorrow's video. Stockport and Forest Green, our first games at this level. Sneak peek at what the team is looking like at the moment. This is subject to change because in a break from what I usually do, I'm not recording the next episode straight after this one. I'm going to sleep on it and mull it over because I'm not sure I'm happy with that midfield. But that's how things are looking at the moment. And I think that looks like a decent team. Might have to put Plange in there, maybe for Bond. I'll figure it out. It'll all be fine. But we will wrap that one up there. If you have enjoyed it, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.